Swagoo, is that fair to put this all on Baker right now?
Hell yeah, it's fair, G. Listen, first of all, that's Joe Thomas, by the way, who was a perennial All-Pro and Pro Bowler for Cleveland. So it ain't like Joe sitting on that show like me and saying something that's going to, send shockwaves and everybody going to think I'm mad as hell at Baker Mayfield. It has nothing to do with that. It's everything to do with timing. It's everything to do with what is at his disposal now. Look, we lamented about it being Freddie Kitchens not putting Baker in a great situation. We talked about the offensive line not protecting him so he couldn't fully reach his potential. Everybody went back to the first year of the success that he had as a rookie quarterback. And I said, listen, this was losing teams he played down the stretch. So it wasn't very good football teams. Now, with the pressure that Baker has on him, with the moves that they made in this offseason, and obviously the expectations in Cleveland. First of all, a lot of y'all had them expectations last year, and I told all of y'all to settle down. And then everybody went crazy when Cleveland didn't have a great year. The two things that I said, you cannot buy championships in the NFL, and it takes time for a group to come together, especially when you have that many personalities and that many players. This is a put up or shut up year, because what else can we point to? Are we going to say Stefanski is the problem? Because then you're just going to continue cycling through coaches. At some point, it's going to come back on the quarterback like it always does, and this is one of those pivotal years for Baker Mayfield to prove that he can be the guy to lead it.
I totally understand what you're saying. But, Dianna, let me say four things, and they are Hugh Jackson, Greg Williams, Freddie Kitchens, and Kevin Stefanski. All of those people have been the head coach for Baker Mayfield, who has not yet begun his third year in the NFL. Is it reasonable to put everything on a young quarterback when they just keep shuffling around the pieces around him?
I thought Swagoo was like the gentle giant on this show. He's got a hard edge on Baker Mayfield today, who has dealt with so much transition. Kevin Stefanski is a first-year head coach dealing with a condensed offseason, a virtual one, a shortened one. We don't even know how training camp is going to go. And we're going to say this is a put-up or shut-up year for Baker Mayfield, who hasn't even been comfortable in an offense yet with the same head coach. He's had so much variety. And look, here's the problem with Baker, right? He's got that attitude. He's got the swag like you, Marcus, where he talks a big game. So what happens sometimes? When you talk a big game, you have to back it up. I've noticed Baker's style over the last few months. He has calmed that down because he knows he's got to go out there to play. Last year, the pressure was on the Cleveland Browns. This year, there's no pressure. All Baker's got to do is go out there and manage this game and play well, and he'll be fine.
Dianna, this is not about Baker's personality. It has nothing to do with his ability to galvanize a team or not. This is about Baker's play. And if Baker doesn't play well, they not going to holler Kevin Stefanski. They are going to say Baker Mayfield. People are not going to give Baker that pass this year. Maybe harsh. You look at the reasons why with the coaches that Greeny just mentioned, but we all been around this game long enough to know that if Baker Mayfield doesn't play well this year, it's going to be on Baker Mayfield.
The other thing that will happen, and I have to leave it here, is that after this coming season, they will have to make a decision on whether or not to pick up his fifth-year option. We're seeing that play out with Trubisky now. We'll see what happens there. Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.